Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a vital part of the journey. Every setback, mistake, and disappointment holds a lesson that shapes your path forward. When we fall, we learn. When we lose, we grow. Each failure is a stepping stone that brings us one step closer to the success we dream of. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who never failed, but the ones who refuse to quit. Remember, success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about rising every time you fall. Keep going. Keep going. You're getting closer than you think. We live in a world obsessed with results. Medals, trophies, titles, these are the things we celebrate. But we rarely talk about the hundreds of failures that made those results possible. Failure has been misunderstood. We treat it as a sign to stop, as proof that we weren't good enough. But the truth is, failure is a sign that we're trying, that we're stretching, growing, and daring. Failure is often seen as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs. But the truth is, failure is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of effort. It means you stepped out of your comfort zone. It means you took action when others hesitated. It means you cared enough to try, even knowing that success wasn't guaranteed. That in itself is strength. People who never fail are often the ones who never risk. They stay safe, they stay silent, and they stay stagnant. But those who dare to pursue something greater will inevitably stumble. That stumble is not a defeat. It's evidence that they are moving. When you fail, it means you were in the game. You weren't just watching from the sidelines. You were playing, participating, and investing your energy into something that mattered to you. That effort is powerful. It shapes you, strengthens you, and teaches you far more than passive success ever could. Think about every skill you've ever learned. Riding a bike, speaking in public, building relationships. None of it came without mistakes. You wobbled, you stuttered, you misunderstood. But each failure was a sign that you were engaged in the process. Without failure, there is no feedback. Without failure, there is no growth. So instead of seeing failure as a reason to stop, see it as a reminder that you are trying, that you are alive in the pursuit of something meaningful. It's not a reflection of your flaws, it's a reflection of your courage. The only real failure is not trying at all. Every other kind is just a step forward disguised as a stumble. Success is often romanticized. We see the highlights, the awards, the recognition, the applause. But what we don't see is the struggle behind the scenes. The sleepless nights, the failures, the doubts, the moments when giving up felt easier than going on. No one truly succeeds without going through that struggle. It's not just part of the process. Struggle builds the strength success demands. It tests your commitment and shapes your character. The reason some people shine so brightly isn't because their journey was easy. It's because they kept walking when the path got hard. They failed, they fell, they cried. And they stood back up. Every breakthrough you admire is built on a foundation of setbacks. Athletes train through pain. Entrepreneurs face rejection. Writers delete more words than they publish. Behind every achievement is a series of obstacles that had to be overcome, not avoided. Struggle also creates gratitude. When you fight for something and finally earn it, you value it more deeply. You don't take success for granted because you know how much it cost. The truth is, struggle is the classroom where greatness is taught. You don't learn how to lead, endure, or innovate by cruising through life. You learn it by falling short and finding the will to rise again. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult season, remind yourself, this isn't punishment, it's preparation. This is what success looks like before it arrives. Embrace the struggle. It's shaping the version of you who will be ready when the moment comes. Failure teaches more than success ever will. While success feels rewarding, it often doesn't reveal the deeper lessons we need to grow. It's comforting, but it can be misleading. Success may validate our actions, but failure forces us to question them. It makes us pause, reflect, and look inward. In failure, we confront our limitations, our assumptions, and our blind spots. It challenges our ego and humbles us in ways that success never can. When we fail, we learn about resilience. We discover how much we care about our goals. Failure exposes our weaknesses, not to shame us, but to show us where we can improve. It invites us to adapt, evolve, and come back stronger. Every time something doesn't work out, we gain clarity. We start understanding what not to do, what to avoid, and what truly matters. Success can sometimes breed overconfidence, but failure keeps us grounded. It brings perspective. It reminds us that growth isn't linear, and that progress often hides in moments that feel like defeat. It reveals who's really committed and who only stays when things are easy. Some of the most important breakthroughs in business, art, science, and life were born from failure. Trial and error is how innovation happens. Mistakes are how skills are sharpened. Disappointments are how purpose is deepened. The truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it, it's the mentor success never was. Honest, raw, and sometimes painful, but always valuable. And the ones who embrace failure, not as a setback, but as a teacher, are the ones who eventually rise the highest, with wisdom that only struggle can provide. Character is built in failure, not in victory. When everything is going well, it's easy to stay composed, optimistic, and focused. But it's in the moments when things fall apart, when plans crumble, when you're misunderstood, when nothing works despite your efforts, that your true character is revealed and shaped. Failure strips away the comfort, the applause, and the certainty. It leaves you with only your choices, your values, and your will to continue. In those difficult moments, you learn patience, you learn humility. You discover whether you can hold on to your integrity when no one is watching. Failure doesn't just test your skill, it tests your heart. It tests your heart. It asks if you'll stay kind when you're hurt, if you'll stay honest when tempted to blame, and if you'll keep going when it would be easier to quit. Victory can be loud and bright, but it doesn't always require depth. Sometimes people succeed without ever facing real hardship. But those who have stumbled, who have known rejection, who've fallen short and still stood up again, they carry something deeper, a quiet strength, a grounded confidence, a deeper sense of purpose. That strength doesn't come from the moment you win. It comes from all the moments you lost, but kept showing up. It's in the silent battles, the quiet resilience, the tears you wiped alone. That's where character is formed. Not in applause, but in adversity. When you look at the people you truly admire, it's rarely because of their victories alone. It's because of how they handled the valleys, how they stayed true to themselves when everything told them to give up. That's the kind of strength that lasts, and it's only born through failure. When life hits hard, the most natural reaction is to ask, why me? It's a question rooted in pain, confusion, and frustration. But while it may feel comforting in the moment, it rarely brings clarity. It keeps you stuck in the feeling of being a victim. That single question can transform how you experience every setback. Challenges aren't random punishments. They're often hidden opportunities. Life doesn't just happen to us. It happens for us, if we're willing to see the message inside the mess. When you ask, what's the lesson? You move from reaction to reflection. You stop spinning in the problem and start stepping toward the solution. It's not about denying pain. It's about giving pain purpose. That failed relationship may have taught you about boundaries. That rejection may have revealed a better path. That mistake may have awakened a deeper sense of responsibility. Every struggle carries a seed of growth, but only if you're willing to look for it. People who grow through life, rather than just go through life, have one thing in common. They are teachable. They don't see failure as a dead end. They see it as data. They mine their lowest moments for insight, for clarity, for truth. This mindset doesn't just change how you handle setbacks. It changes who you become because of them. You become more self-aware, more adaptable, and more emotionally resilient. So the next time you find yourself in a moment of pain or confusion, take a deep breath and shift the question. Don't ask why it happened to you. Ask what it's trying to teach you. That simple shift could turn your breakdown into a breakthrough. Each failure is forward motion, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. When something doesn't go as planned, it's easy to believe you've taken a step back. But failure is not the end of progress. It's part of the path. Every time you try, fall, and get back up, you're moving forward. You're collecting experience, insight, and strength that you wouldn't gain any other way. Progress is rarely a straight line. It's messy. It involves trial, error, adjustment, and trying again. Each failure gives you feedback. It shows you what doesn't work, what needs to be improved, or where you need to grow. That information becomes your advantage. It sharpens your decisions, deepens your self-awareness, and builds the emotional endurance required for long-term success. People often assume that moving forward only looks like winning, achieving, or succeeding. But the truth is, forward motion sometimes looks like falling on your face and having the courage to stand again. That motion, even if painful, is growth in disguise. It's a silent victory of persistence. If you look back at anything you're proud of, a skill, a habit, a relationship, a goal, you'll realize it was built through a series of imperfect attempts. You didn't get there by avoiding mistakes. You got there by walking through them, learning from them, and refusing to quit. Each failure teaches you something that moves you closer to who you're becoming. It's a sign that you're on the field, you're showing up, that you're not stuck in fear. And so even if the results aren't what you hope for, know this, as long as you keep going. Every failure is progress. Every misstep is motion, and motion means you're not standing still. So the next time you fail, don't see it as the end. See it as a beginning of growth, of wisdom, of resilience. You're not starting over, you're starting stronger. Every setback is preparing you for a stronger comeback. Keep moving, keep learning, keep rising. Because failure is not where your story ends, it's where your true journey begins. And every step, no matter how broken it feels, is carrying you forward. You're not falling behind, you're falling into place.